Yo, what's good everybody? King GBL here, and welcome back to some Go Battle League. Today I'm going to be showcasing a very strong team, and a very fun team in the Open Great League. Today I'm going to be showcasing Dragonite, Shadow Dragonite of course, Vigoroth, and Watergun Lantern. This team is super good and I highly recommend it actually. I played 17 battles with this team, I got 11 wins. I definitely threw one or two of the matches, I definitely could have won more than 11. I could have won probably 12, 13, 14 if I didn't play like a complete potato. But yeah, this team is good, it's very fun. Of course, like if you run into Wigglytuff lead and you're just running into DGen teams constantly, it's going to be annoying. As the opponent Draco Meteors my Lantern, pretty annoying stuff here. I'm not sure if I could have made it to the move. I just wanted to get the chip here and come into Vigoroth, because at this point, what I'm hoping to do is 2-shield farm the whole way down. It's pretty miserable having to do this, but we got a shield off the Goodra with Dragonite, which is pretty nice. We can look to try to 2-shield farm down and basically hope and pray that we have something good in the back. I really need something good for Vigoroth. If it's Ape, it's game over. The opponent comes into a Talonflame. There's no reason to beat here. We're at 2 Rock Slides basically. 2 and fro, 1 bang. The opponent shields this. I could have done 4 and fro, but it's pretty unnecessary of course. We're actually I think 1 counter off a Body Slam, and even if Goodra does get off a move, of course it won't knock me out. I basically just threw the move and zero bubbled it here. Good games well played for the first one. The one thing I really liked about this team is if you don't get a Wigglytuff lead or a Bastiodon lead, you can basically just stay in and 2-shield through anything, like Shadow Gligar, Whiscash, even an opposing Vigoroth, Lantern, whatever the case is. You can pretty much stay in and 2-shield through it. That's what I like about this team. You 2-shield for the lead, get alignment. Watergun Lantern, by the way, is super underrated, although I think people are catching on to it. In this next battle here, we have a Sandslash lead, terrible lead, we come into this, and the opponent comes into a Poliwrath. So here's what you need to know about this matchup. If the opponent gets off an Icy Wind here, or if they go for the Icy Wind instead of the Scald, you make it to 2 moves, and that'll actually put them in a position where this Body Slam's going to be chunking. They almost have to debuff you just to sort of survive the second Body Slam, so it's a really awkward position for them. But at this range guys, we can farm it down with Dragonite, we can farm this the whole way down, get an energy lead on the Sandslash, and you guys have seen this in Ultra League before, you just beat it a couple of times, mess around with it, and this can be pretty fine. What I'm basically hoping for is to chip it down and catch an Ice Punch, right? I'm going to go for the Dragon Claw. Of course it is tempting to full send. Most of the time, 99% of the time the shield, I go for the catch, I don't make it. I decide to shield this immediately, thinking that it could be an Azu in the back. Sandslash lead often comes with Azu. I could have threw the move right there, but I decide like at this point, I sort of just want to take the energy. If it is Azu back there, it's actually a Gligar, and this should be pretty much game over. We go for the Surf immediately here. This will look to one-shot the Gligar. And I think the Gligar... No, I can't speak. I've tried to record this one section like 20 times. Gligar. I think the Gligar is getting into range for a Dragon Claw. I throw an alignment like an absolute potato. We don't take it out. We farm down the Gligar, and we squirted this into farm down range for the Dragonite. Good games. Guys, do me a favor, drop a like in the video. You guys have been cracking off with the... Cracking off? What does that even mean? You guys have been popping off with the likes recently. By the way, in this set, I was 0-3 with the team I was using before, and with this team I'm showcasing, we won 2 in a row here to finish out the set on a slightly more positive note. Anyway guys, do me a quick favor, drop a like in the video. Super appreciated. You guys have been popping off, like I said, with the likes. Subscribe if you've not yet done so. We're pushing towards 5k. And without any further ado, let's hop into the rest of the battles. Actually, one more further ado. You can see that the screen is a little bit cut off. The boundary is a little bit cut off. I'll try to fix that for the next video. I recently switched over to an iPhone, so I basically need to figure out what crop I need to use to make this look normal, I guess. So anyway, the opponent comes into Tentacruel, very awkward safe swap. At this point I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do, bro. If you don't know what to do, just 2-shield and farm it down. Or in this case, 1-shield farm it down. That's just pretty much what you have to do. If you don't know what to do, just shield for it with Dragonite. In comes Skarmory here. I decide to bring in the Vigoroth, trying to draw back out their lead. And I know I can get off Rock Slides on this as well. Thankfully, the opponent does not throw immediately. Of course, I want the opponent to swap out here and look to realign this with my Lantern. If it comes straight into Lantern, of course, they swap back into their lead, so I don't really want to do that. They come into Sableye. Watergun Lantern, by the way, is pretty fine into Sableye. In this case right here, I probably could have went for the bait, but I do think the opponent throws right away anyway. They're what we like to call around here an insta-throwing Andy. The opponent's an insta-throwing Andy. They go for that move right away. We come in with Dragonite, go for 1 Dragon Breath for good timing here, and I think I'm going to look to basically swap out. The plan that I came up with on the spot here is, I can't take this out with Dragonite, right? The Skarmory makes it to a Brave Bird. They're going to get my Lantern into Brave Bird range, so what I'm going to do is overfarm the absolute maximum, which will force the opponent to throw their energy soon. And because the Skarmory is already low, hopefully that means that we can actually Dragon Breath it down with the debuff damage. The opponent farms up perfectly just before I reach the move. That was a mistake by the opponent, because we can actually come in with Dragonite and farm it all the way down. The opponent fell into my trap in that situation. If the opponent wanted to win, they could have just Brave Birded immediately, and it might have been a simul KO, or they might have just about edged it, but because they'd done a few extra Steel Wings, allowed me to get a few more Water Guns. My, of course, the opponent's debuff defense and my super oppressive Dragon Breaths was able to win it. So here's the Gligar. We actually played this opponent twice today. They beat me, I think, the first time. They have a Feraligatr in the back, and yeah, we're just going to do the whole thing with Dragonite here. I think I do go for a CMP tie right here. A little bit risky, but that's perfectly fine. Okay, so actually it wasn't a CMP tie. We actually threw in good timing right there. But yeah, we're just going to take one shield, farm it all the way down. In comes a Lantern right here and Water Gun. Now, most of the time they no-shield this move, so I go for the superpower. Bang! It does heavy, heavy damage to this. I come into the Vigoroth, and what I'm going to look to do here is just try to farm it the whole way down. I think I could have committed to the farm down here, but I think I shit my pants here and throw the move last second. From what I've just counted, I think there were on 10 Water Guns. It takes 14 to get to the move, so I definitely could have farmed down here. A bit of a misplay by me there. We're going to go for a Body Slam. By the way, guys, whenever I'm streaming and whenever I don't really care as much, I definitely make more mistakes, but thankfully, we got that extra 1 counter through, allowing us to outpace here, and we should be basically chilling. We do so much fast move pressure with Dragonite that it's kind of hard for them not to throw right away, right? We would make it to a Dragon Claw, so this is pretty good. The opponent goes for the move, and I think as soon as they see Lantern, it's just basically game over. I know that the opponent is on Ice Beam, because we did face them earlier in the day. I think they realize after throwing this first Hydro, it's not going to do 50%, and they just top left. Good games well played. By the way, one thing that I noticed with iPhone is the color is a little bit different. I'm guessing they use a different color range, or it's color format, I guess. It looks a little bit different. Anyway, Skarmory lead, we come into Vigoroth, and the opponent comes into Gligar. ABI Flyer. This is kind of interesting. I was pretty surprised by this matchup here. The opponent actually ends up flipping this, spoiler alert, and it's because of one reason. They go for Dig straight away, so I thought, like, yeah, we definitely flip this matchup. They're actually on Night Slash, which is a very weird moveset in my personal opinion. I don't think it actually benefits you to have Night Slash. We shield this move here. The opponent, of course, goes for the Night Slash bait, and I think because they did go for Night Slash, that allows them to outpace to the Dig, unfortunately. Whenever the opponent came into Gligar, I was like, yes, we definitely flip this, but especially after shielding the Dig. But now we're just in a sticky spot. We're in a very, very sticky spot. We come into the Dragonite here, of course, get some energy. I was tempted to come in with the Gligar and get energy. Arguably, I could have stayed in to go for a superpower. The opponent comes into a Whiscash, and this is looking pretty RPS. Now, what I try to decide to do here is go for a huge farm down with Dragonite, and maybe look to get off 2 superpowers. However, this is a non-shadow Whiscash. The opponent throws the move here, so they're basically helping me out. This is what I want them to do. I need all of this energy for Dragonite, and I need them to go for a Mud Bomb and a Scald. These are some big asks right here, and I need them to stay in to allow me to get the farm down too. The opponent's Switch Clock should be coming up here quite soon. I don't think 1 Dragon Claw plus 1 superpower will do it on the Skarmory. It definitely has to be 2 superpowers, so pretty unfortunate stuff there. I think had the opponent not been on Night Slash, we would have been fine there. In the next battle here, we have a Charger lead. Once again, like with leads like this, you can sort of shield through it. Never throw right away. Never throw right away, because the opponents sometimes go for the extra. Try to do free and throw, or, you know, of course, so they can throw in multiples of 4. So you throw in 3, 7, 11, right? 1 before they complete their Volt Switch, basically. We catch the X-Scissor. I played against Dragonite with my Charger Bug today on my ult a few times, and the way that they beat me was by catching in Vigoroth, so I was like, you know what, that's what worked for them, so I'll try it as well. So I'm sort of happy I didn't give up 2 shields, because if you look at it, they'd be coming in with Azu. The energy from Dragonite would just basically go nowhere. So right here, I'm fairly happy with this, I think. This team composition in general is quite tricky for me. Arguably, I could just try to like force alignment and put my Lantern here, but like down a shield, Lantern with Water Gun does not really beat Azu. Azu's kind of crazy, you sort of almost have to bait it. So right here I'm thinking, right, okay, the opponent built up a ton of energy, we'll just come in Lantern, try to squirt it the whole way down. We're going to squirt it the whole way down. And take the Hydro Pump apparently. Since they YOLO'd the Hydro Pump, I swap, they come into this again. This is looking good now. Because I think like this is probably their best answer to Lantern, right? They will get off a move here. They shield this move, so I'm like, okay, I'll shield as well. If you're going to shield, I'll shield. It could be anything in the back at this point. It's a Serperior. I'm really happy I shielded that move. We're going to go for a Dragon Claw right here. And what the opponent kind of needs to do is build up to back-to-back moves. I'm super close to a Surf. We do make it to the second Dragon Claw before the farm is the whole way down, and we're in a great position now. We can basically farm down the Azu. Charger Bug lead is definitely awkward. I've lost to Charger Bug lead a few times. I think that was a couple of my losses. I did mess some of the matches up in fairness. It's something you can deal with, but it's not exactly what you want to see. This is what you do want to see. The opponent comes into a Sandslash, throwing Powder Snow. We swap right out here. I did take a Powder Snow or 2, which is unfortunate. We can farm this the whole way down, and like already at this point, safe swapping Sandslash and getting this hard punished just puts them so far behind in this match. We can get off easily 2 Body Slams on the Whiscash. I think they done 1 Mudshot before the left, So we will try to go for a CMP tie right here. We go for the body slam immediately. And yeah, like they're just getting so low at this stage. Almost no matter what it is in the back, the combination of Dragonite and Lantern can basically take care of it. Even if it's a Wigglytuff, I think we can still just about take care of it. That would probably be worst case scenario. They come into Gligar, we come into Lantern. And guys, this is what I absolutely love about Lantern with Water Gun. Look at this, we're like, ha, dig me, big boy. The opponent does not oblige. And at this point, I'm like, yo, big boy, dig me, bro. Like, you're gonna have to dig me here. Just dig it. Bang, he digs me. Don't really care. Farm it the whole way down. But as you've seen there, by the time they make 2 moves, a dig and an ace, right? You've already got them down to less than 25% health. By the way, red health is 25%. Once they reach the red, they're at 25%. We get a very nice 4-1 here, and in the following sets, I think I go 2-3 and 3-2. I definitely mess up some of the battles, so let's have a look at them. So hopping into the set, we get a pretty decent lead in Water Gun Lantern. Pretty happy with this. We can look to go for Dragon Claws. Oh, actually it's Spark Lantern, never mind. So we try to throw in good timing here. Guys, I would say most of the time, if they're staying in, they let this move go, but they actually shield the superpower. That would have been getting them super low. So perhaps you could look at that as a mistake. I think that's a 50-50. I don't really think of that as a mistake. The opponent comes into Trevenant, they go for the catch, they don't quite make it, and we can look to threaten 2 Rock Slides. This is perfect. This means that we can basically get a juicy farm down, shield once, farm all the way down with Dragonite, and like I said, like, nothing really wants to see Dragonite's energy. Wigglytuff does not want to take a superpower, neither does Bastiodon. Nothing really wants to take a Dragon Claw, that's not a fairy. They do make it at the last second here, unfortunately. I don't think it was new mechanic, let's have a look here. Oh, it was new mechanic, of course. Of course. You love to see it, you love to see it. We go for this move in Lantern. Because they shit themselves the first time, I decide to do that. And I'm thinking, like, this is a guaranteed Thunderbolt right here. I get these calls wrong quite a lot, but it was the guaranteed Thunderbolt that time. I'm tempted to go for a Surf here. The opponent comes into Lickitung. And this is very, very tricky. This is very, very tricky. 1 Thunderbolt plus 2 Surfs will take it out. That's what we need to go for here. I realized last second, like, yeah, this 1 Thunderbolt's not going to do it. I need to commit to 2 Surfs, basically force them to further energy here, and I need to go for a farm down with Dragonite. This match is going to be super, super close here. In this moment here, I realize that I can't farm this time with Dragonite, they're going to outpace me, so what I need to do is catch on Dragonite. I tried to catch on the Surf CMP basically, and I need to wee-wee this the whole way down. Unfortunately, they live on 1 HP. Had I got 1 more Dragon Breath on it, or 1 more Water Gun, I would have taken it out. And of course being able to Thunderbolt the Lantern, so super close game. Maybe I could have played it a little bit differently, like stayed in, shielded through the Lantern, played it in that way. The only thing is, the opponent would have had a full health Trevenant. My Lantern didn't really have a great place to go against that team, right? Spark Lantern in the lead, they had Trevenant and they had Licky, so not really a great place for Lantern to go. We actually get the farm down here, which is kind of nice. I've got a defense weighted Dragonite if you guys are wondering. Now, I'm super patient here. I decide to overtap here just to get off the superpower if possible. We get off the superpower on the Lantern. One adjustment I think people could make with Dragonite is to know when to throw the superpower. As you've seen earlier, I expected the opponent to let it go, right? So it's a 50-50. It only costs 2 more Dragon Breaths. If you're going to get out, if you only get off 1 more move, and it's a neutral move, you go for superpower. It does substantially more damage. It's definitely a move that's well worth committing to at times. Right here, the opponent makes a nice catch onto a Registeel. That makes sense. They didn't come into Reggie, of course, because we can just superpower it with Dragonite. Completely makes sense. But this is pretty fine. In the ones, Reggie actually beats Vigoroth in the ones, I believe. So it is kind of tricky, because we only have resisted charge moves. Somebody in my chat was saying Bulldoze could be interesting. I do think Bulldoze could be quite interesting. It would definitely make the Ape matchup a little bit better, and it would be better for things like Toxapex, Registeel, these tricky Pokemon. It would make those matches so much better. We're happy for the opponent to take us out. I don't go for a Thunderbolt because I don't want the opponent to get a bunch of energy on Lantern. I'm happy to take 2 moves, and all we basically have to do is build up to back-to-back, and that's game over. I do think with Vigoroth though, like, Rock Slide is such a good move for this Pokemon. It really just made it meta. You know, you could run Vigoroth in Open Great League before, but it was nowhere near this good with Bulldoze. Bulldoze's pacing, and damage is pretty terrible. If they buff Bulldoze, that could be a question. You know, maybe this could be an option for like limited metas. Sometimes you have metas with Toxapex and Vigoroth. Maybe to draw out a Toxapex, this could be a great option. I do think as things stand, unless you're being spicy, you probably just run Rock Slide. Speaking of which, this is a matchup right here, of course, where Rock Slide is a lot better. 2 Body Slams don't quite knock out a Charger. We do get the catch this time, and we do get the sneak, which is great. I'm expecting the opponent to go for so there you go. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I guess that's why I had that on my mind. I faced off against this Toxapex, bro, and this is so awkward. I was really fearing that it might be double poison, because Lantern, again with Water Gun, does so much worse into this, so much worse into an Azu, Tentacruel, right? They go for Sludge Bombs, it's pretty horrible for you. Hey Brian, they take me out. I don't really know what to do here. I think I decide, okay, we come in with Dragonite, do a couple of Dragon Breaths, and look to try and catch. The opponent actually did an extra. They built up to the Sludge Wave, but they do throw the Brine, so that's pretty good. I'm thinking here I should be able to surf this and basically farm it the whole way down, just before they reach the move. So we should be fine here. However, Toxapex is super thick, and they actually do make it to the move. I'm like, yeah, okay, take my shield. Opponent earned it, they deserved it, they can take it, and they come into their own Squirter here. They come into their own Lantern, we go for the Thunderbolt. I probably should be baiting here, I probably should. Well, actually, I guess not. Never mind. I think here maybe I should shield, because this is going to be a bolt. Yeah, this is good. This is a little bit tricky. This is a little bit awkward now. Their Charge Bug is still pretty healthy. I think the Toxapex safe swap, it was just scary for me. I could have brought in my own Lantern, and perhaps that would have worked out a little bit better. Yeah, or maybe I committed to the farm down with the Dragonite, get the energy there. I didn't want to take all the poison jabs, I didn't want to have to shield it. Definitely a few things that could have been slightly different, but I do think Toxapex in general, if you're on Water Gun, is kind of awkward. Completely destroys your, it destroys your whole team basically, beats your Lantern. Dragonite probably can just about shield through it, but definitely very awkward Pokemon. Okay, so we get a fantastic lead in the next battle here. I'm going to stay in, farm up some energy, and look to try and catch this move on the Lantern. Bang! We do get the catch. Love to see it. Now, this once again is a match that is a lot worse. However, if the opponent shields once, they have to shield twice. And like Dragonite up 2 shields, unless they're running something pretty toxic in the back, we'll be pretty happy with that. They're going for Ace right here, which makes me think that they're going to shield the move and try to swap out. I was actually extremely tempted to go for a bait here because I felt like, okay, they're trying to burn the switch clock. I'm going to go for bait here, but then I decided, like, if they no shield, it's horrible. They do no shield, they come into Whiscash, and I guess they're looking to get some extra energy. However, they throw straight away. I thought the opponent would definitely just take a Surf, try to come out with, like, 2 Mud Bombs or something, 1 for Dragonite, but thankfully they don't do that. We come in, we've got a bunch of energy stored, we go for the Claw right away, and the Scald will definitely hurt quite a lot. I'm tempted here to go for a catch, but I decide, okay, we just shield it, farm it all the way down, and I'm thinking it's definitely Gligar at this point. And if I can just basically get this into Body Slam range, I'm fine. We pretty much guarantee the shield here. This will do a lot of damage. And at this range here, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we just let this go. The counters are going to be adding up. 2 Body Slams will take it out. All I need to do is basically avoid the catch. We go for this move right away, of course. The switch clock will not be up. As long as we don't get caught on, we're basically fine. The opponent cannot make it to a dig and an ace at this range, so I'm like, okay, easy shield right here, and I can actually just go for a bit of an overfarm. The opponent goes for this move right away, I guess trying to burn their switch clock. Bang, they go for the ace. Of course, the opponent knows that they cannot take me out with that move. They were just basically trying to outpace me somehow. I do wonder if they shielded the Thunderbolt, would that have been different? I think shielding the Thunderbolt for them is probably the win con. The clocks were misaligned slightly, but I'm not sure if that would have even helped. But that's what I thought they were going to do. In comes Ape. This is a Night Slash, we have to shield it, otherwise they can just shield and counter us down. They come into a Lickitung. I full send the big move here, probably a little bit ambitious here. The opponent actually shits their pants, shields the move, and we come into Vigoroth here. I'm pretty happy with this because I don't want to, of course, have this on Ape. And what I'm thinking at this point is, the opponent's just going to let me throw moves. They're overfarming like crazy, so I'm like, okay, I need to take some moves here. I cannot give Ape, you know, like 10 counters on this, it'll do a lot of damage. And then the opponent done something which really just gave away what they wanted to do. I think they realized at a certain point, like, yeah, we want the energy on Ape. I stop attacking, the opponent starts licking a little bit, I do 1 punch to put them into 1 HP range. By putting them into 1 HP, it means that we can farm them down before they get off a move with Dragonite or the Lantern. I come into Dragonite here, I'm going to commit to the farm down. The Lickitung won't make a move, and again, you just farm something down on the lead, they get the boost, which is kind of annoying. You farm something down on the lead and get off the energy and whatever comes in. This time we definitely go for Dragon Claw. I guess I could have went for Superpower, the opponent actually lets it go, but I'm hoping that I can get a lot of extra damage for him. We're 1 off a Body Slam on the Vigoroth. Basically I need to threaten the move on Lantern, and I should be able to Body Slam it. However, being a complete potato, I completely forgot how much energy I had on this. I make a really funny play. I go straight for a Surf, because if I land this, I can farm it down with Vigoroth anyway. The opponent still has the Thunderbolt here, so it's like not a bad play. But this next play is pretty funny, bro. I try to catch the Thunderbolt, even though I've got energy on this. Like a complete potato brain, I completely forget about all this energy. The only thing I'm thinking about is how can I beat this with Water Gun Lantern? They come into Licky, of course, it's on 1 HP, and that's game over. So hopping into the final set, guys, like I said, man, really enjoyed this team. I do highly recommend you guys give it a try if you're looking for something new. We get a fantastic lead, fantastic swap, and once again, I'm just sitting here like, yo, dig me, big boy. Like, I don't care. I don't actually care, because we can get off the Surf. If they shield, we just outpace them. This is so dominant for Lantern, it's actually crazy. They come back into Whiscash, they will get a decent amount of energy, but they could be like the last opponent, not wanting us to get them low, because it is a Shadow. So I decide this time, like, I want the chip. They may be committing to a farm down here, but we can get off a lot of damage. Look at this Whiscash is down to like 35-40% health. They do get a massive farm down, they get off 2 moves in Dragonite, which I don't want to shield. I'm just thinking like we trust in Dragonite, we come in, get denied because this game is absolutely perfect of course. They go for the Scaldy Scald, and now I'm like, oh, what if it's something weak to weak? Oh, bruh. Okay, I take my shield, they go for another Scald, I'm very happy. They come into Mantine, and this is pretty fine, I think. This is pretty fine. If I can just outpace them, we should be okay. We need to basically live an ace on the Vigoroth here. I throw in perfect timing, build up to back-to-back moves. Now I'm thinking like, I'm screwed. I'm kind of screwed. They're going to take me out here. I might not be able to get both moves off, but we actually live it on 1 HP in a dream. We live on 1 HP in a dream. Absolutely insane. Get off this claw, and that basically seals it for us. I go straight for the move, insta-throwing Andy. I just throw this move right away. I want to get rid of it. And yeah, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. The opponent actually makes it to the move. Had I done one more counter, I would have been able to win this match. This is the problem, guys. If you're just playing in autopilot and not counting and not being fully locked in, this is why sometimes you have a really good game and it looks like it's just an easy win at the end. You even live on 1 HP to get off the move, but then you still lose because you just don't manage that energy just right down to the last second. It's like you go into autopilot, you think like, okay, this game's won, let me just throw the moves, GG's, thanks for playing. But no, the opponent did make it to another move. So in this matchup right here, it's pretty important to throw in very good timing here. The opponent actually lets this move go, and because they let it go, I come into Vigoroth. I'm like, okay, here's your counter to Vigoroth in the lead. We'll throw this in. Icy Wind does not do that much. The opponent actually stays in to get farmed down, allowing me to get off, get over a Body Slam, and then they come into Azu. This is fantastic for me. This is absolutely perfect. The switch clock is around 50% burned. Now, I say it's perfect for me. This is still tricky. This is just a tricky team comp for me. Thankfully, I didn't have to give up any shields because, of course, shielding Dragonite when there's an Azu in the back, it never feels good. But I do get to put my Lantern here, and you guys are going to see what I'm talking about with Lantern versus Azu. They have so much energy here. Once again, 100 energy is 9 bubbles. We do get the sneak here, and the opponent actually faults into Hydro Pump, so that's kind of hilarious. They come into Altaria, we come into Dragonite, and we just about make a move on 1 HP once again. However, Altaria, because I'm a Morrigan, is so good into Lantern that I think I need to go for a bait here. I full send, thinking the opponent might try to call it, but they have no reason to whatsoever. All they have to do is just shield farm the whole way down. They don't need to throw any moves here at this point, but Azu actually still has energy, so they can throw moves if they want to. The way I could have won this is by baiting. As you can see, I froze it here. This is the health I would have been at had I went for the bait and then went for the move. I think I might have been able to surf the Azu, so I would have needed to be able to survive like 4 bubbles at the very least, or 5 bubbles, which I think I just about might have been able to do. So this match could have been very, very close. Good games nonetheless, but it just goes to show you, like, even in those matches where it's tricky, there can be a win con, and this is one of them. I completely messed this match up beyond belief. I want you guys to watch this. This is actually insane. I can't believe I hit Legend so early with plays like this. This is horrible. So we full send the Rock Slide, right? Good games, that's very nice play there. And having a look at this, I'm thinking, like, I probably make it to 3 Rock Slides. So I just shield the move, and if I can get both shields off the opponent, I can actually farm this down with the Dragonite, superpower the Bastiodon, swap into my thing, and if it's Grass Hole, I should be able to get off a Surf on the Victory Bell, basically farm it down with the Dragonite, and that'll be game over. I make a absolutely ridiculous play right here. I come into Lantern to absorb the energy first, because I think, okay, I don't want to shield the Dragonite, but that is so stupid. That is so stupid, because look, we get super, super low here. I could have even just like threw a little bit sooner as well. Bang, we take them out, but they're just going to come back in with Tropius, bro. They come in with Tropius. I do take it out, and then it's Lantern versus Victory Bell. This was ridiculous, bro. This was absolutely ridiculous. We even do, well, we don't quite make it to the surf, but all I had to do in that match was just shield with the Dragonite, farm it all the way down, and then basically superpower the Basti, swap out, draw out the Victory Bell, come back in with the thingy. The unfortunate thing is they definitely would have made a move on the Victory Bell, but at that point, like, they would have been low enough, like, where I would have landed a surf, and probably could have just farmed them down. So yeah, goes to show you, like, even players who are hitting Legend super early, players who you might think are really good players and stuff like that, we all make stupid mistakes in this game. So if you're making mistakes of your own, don't worry about it too much. All of us make potato plays, it's what happens, doesn't matter. You take the best player in the world, players who've won championships, doesn't matter who it is, everybody makes mistakes, and yeah, that was a huge one right there. In this match right here, we commit to the counter down, they come into the Azu, super happy with this. And by the way, the timing on the swap, you know, I can't really explain it, but whenever the opponent swaps in, I actually look at the animations. If you guys are wondering how I always throw in good timing whenever the opponent swaps in, I'm looking at the animations, and you can sort of see whenever the moves line up properly. It's just kind of a feeling thing. But this is great here, because I threw in good timing at the start, I can actually outpace them to this move. The opponent builds up 100 energy once again. I'm going to come in, go for the squirt down, and we should be in a pretty decent position now. Lantern up this amount of energy should be pretty fine. They go for the Hydro Pump, I swap, they swap into an Umbreon, and I guess quite ambitiously, I go for the Superpower. I think the opponent probably should be calling this, so I'm like, okay, full send, boom. Because like normally, right, what Dragonites do is bait the first one, full send the second one, but that was not the case there. We go for the Superpower this time, and honestly, like, I know Dragonite's a hard-hitting Pokemon, Superpower is a hard-hitting move, but I wasn't expecting it to do that much. The opponent gets a nasty farm down, however, this is still Umbreon. Dark Pulse or not, this is not going to do too much damage. We could probably even take another one. We can basically farm down the rest of the team. I throw the move immediately, not messing around, because yeah, all we need to do is take this out. We can Water Gun down the Azu before they get off a move, and yeah, the opponent concedes the match. Good games well played. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Do me a quick favour, if you enjoyed it, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, it's super appreciated. Big thank you for all the support in the videos, and if you do happen to try this team, let me know in the comment section down below how it was. If you were seeing wiggly leads, or if you were seeing decent leads like I was. You know, I think in Go Battle League, your skill comes into it quite a lot, but oftentimes, you know, what you see can make a huge difference. I would say for this team, some of the worst leads you can get, I didn't see any Wigglies or Azus, thankfully. Wiggly, it's horrible, of course, because they probably are accompanied by just stuff that's not good for you. Like, it could be the double fighter line, so you bring in Vigoroth, they bring in Polly, and it's just so bad for you, or they bring in Ape, even worse, right? You farm it down, you maybe can get off a Superpower on the Wiggly, but then you've got your Lantern versus a Wiggly and a Polly, which these days, on Water Gun especially, is not good. So yeah, that's going to be very tricky. Honestly, it's probably an automatic loss if you get that. Of course, you could run into Azu teams. Oftentimes, Azu teams are a little bit weak to Vigoroth in the back, so you basically have to pray that you can do something with Vigoroth on the safe swap. By the way, guys, with Talonflame, if you're using Spark, they survive a Surf, so always go for Thunderbolt. I knew I was making it to the Bolt, so I went for that instead. We're sitting around 27-37. Since I've hit Legend already, I'm just having fun with the game, and I think that's probably the best thing you can do. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll catch you all next time.